Hello everyone, my name is Rosanna Bidoro, Rai for short, and you're on to Read Time with Rai. Kati, thank you for joining me. Kati, please, it's this Florence. Is this straight or is sideways? Because I don't know. Can you let me know? Migdak, thank you for joining me. I see you. Arama, thank you for joining me. Please let me know if this is straight or sideways, please. And please share as you have come on. It's sideways. Okay. Is this straight? Sorry. Is this straight now? Straight or still sideways? All right, thank you for that. Please let me know, is still sideways? Oh my, what's happening? Okay. Please excuse me, give me a few minutes to get this properly done. Is this straight now? Thank you, Migdak. Just give me a minute. Oh, thank you, Brother Amos. How are you? Are you back from Ghana? Thank you for joining me live. Please just give me a minute. I'm trying to do something and we would begin. Thank you for joining me, Etel Esther. I see you. Thank you. All right. So I think we're way past. Duke, thank you for joining me. Team members, I think I just did something that I am not supposed to do, so please could you head to the page and help me take care of it. All right, while they take care of that, I think we can begin. Okay, so everybody in a relationship at one point in time, or even not love relationship, but interpersonal relationship. Okay, must thank God you're back, and I hope you're enjoying Nigeria. Yes, so everybody, whether it's with your coworker or it's with friends, just mutual friends, or someone you're in love with, in a proper relationship with, you would, have some form of arguments. You would disagree with that person. But this is a request topic, and the person wanted to know how the person can prevent, those heated arguments and all that leading to a breakup. Now, the first thing we must understand is that we cannot always be right. We have to have that in the back of our mind. Even if we think we are right, the other person may be seeing it from a different perspective. So we have to listen. What I see with heated arguments or with people, arguments that lead to breakup is that people don't listen. You're not listening. They don't listen to each other. Well, thank you for joining me. They don't listen to each other. So one person is saying something and truly believes that the person is right, or the person needs you to see their point, but the other person is not willing, because most of the time we listen to attack. We listen to give a response. We're not listening to see the perspective from which that other person is coming from. So most of the time we're not listening. So you're hearing, but you're not really comprehending what that person is saying. So you're just waiting, to respond. You're waiting to attack. And because of that, that person is upset. The person is saying, you're not listening to me. Now, it depends on what the offense is, or what the situation is, because there could be different, situations. There could be different offenses that can come up. So it depends on what it is, and what you guys are talking about or trying to trash about. First, you have to listen properly to understand. Listen to see the perspective to which the person is coming from. You don't know it all, and you may not be seeing it in the light to which the person is seeing it, or from that person's perspective. Alpha, thank you for joining me. So you must be willing to listen. Now, this reminds me, Ethel won the question I asked last week, and your gift is ready, so I'll be giving it to you because you live in the same city with me. So I will be giving it to you the next time I see you. So I just wanted to announce the winner. The winner is Ethel, and congratulations. Yes. So seeing and listening to your partner is very important. You must listen to understand, not just be hearing, okay, talk, so I can talk mine. You are waiting, you're boiling. When the person is even saying, you're calculating your response, you're not really paying attention. Listen to understand where the person is coming from. And the second thing, another thing that makes the argument become so heated is when one person is trying to explain or trying to talk, or trying to tell that partner the perspective to which the person is coming from, or why the person did something that is bringing an argument, and then the other person walks out, slams the door. Now, this is a two-way coin. Some people, especially the men, say they walk out because if they are there, if they stay there, they probably would hit you, or they probably would the argument would be too heated and they cannot tell their reaction. Now, if that person has an anger management problem, that may be a right thing for the person to do, to walk out, to prevent, a more drastic, or to prevent domestic violence, or to prevent a more drastic situation or scenario. But half of the time, most people do that, not because they have an anger management problem, not because they feel they will hit their partner, or they would start breaking things. That's for the ladies. It's because they don't want to listen. Sometimes their partner is hitting them where, their ego is being affected. They don't want to listen to the truth. The truth is usually bitter, irrespective of who it's coming from, irrespective of even if it's coming from your loved one. So half the time, they just want to avoid the situation. They don't want to talk about it. And many a times, most situations are swept under the carpet, and it takes a mature partner now on the other end to, even if that person is sweeping it under the carpet, to rationalize it and say, okay, let this go. Let this not affect our relationship. Okay, maybe the person is too ashamed to accept, or the person's ego is playing out. So let me just, let this slide, let this go. There are times you have to let things go. You see, and the third thing is, it's not every time that you must win. You mustn't win an argument. You're not in a courtroom. You're not in competition with your partner, because your partner would end up, especially if you guys are married, but I'm talking of relationship. But, relationship most of the time, if done right, leads to marriage. That person will end up being you. Are you in competition with yourself? So it's not important who wins. The most important thing is that, okay, that situation is trash, is understood, and let there not be a repeat of that situation. So it's not a matter of, okay, I won the argument, I'm always winning the argument, and people, that's why people trying to prove your point. Sometimes when you see that nobody is listening, nobody is trying, no point is being proven, nobody is seeing anything, no perspective is being seen, you can drop the topic. It's not all the time that you must win. You can let the person have the person's way. Most people in a relationship, I don't understand it. They do as if, this is not the person you say you love, or this is not the person you say you want to spend the rest of your time. So you do like you're fighting your enemy. So, You must have the last word. You must have the last say. You are. Some people even say they are the men and all that. So they must please. As I'm talking, I would like to. If you have questions, you could drop them along. I like this to be relational. I just don't want to talk. I like to read from you too. So you could say tell me your own contributions or your own experience that you've had, and we could discuss it as I go on. And if you have questions, of course, you could drop it. I would in intersections, I would answer them. And of course, all my social media platforms and everything are on the comment section, so you can see them there on the comment section, and please share so people would know what on. Yes, so you mustn't win every argument. It's they don't, there's no trophy for it. You mustn't win every argument, actually. Yes. And then fourthly, how you prevent this thing from getting, Moses, thank you for joining me, from getting into a breakup or to something. You have to control yourself. You are upset, yes, anger is an emotion, but you can control it. You don't have to let it control you, so you can control yourself. So you tell yourself that, okay, I'm upset, this person has done this, and you tell the person. Now, most of the time, it's the reaction of that person that makes us angry. But you see, you can't control how that person is going to react. You can't control how that person is going to behave in your. You can't tell that person, actually, because the person is a full-grown adult. You can't tell the person how to react to what you're saying. But you have to tell yourself how you're going to react to whatever that person is going to say. So you won't let that person control you, or let your emotions take the better part of you, whether it is anger, it is irritation, it is annoyance, it is disappointment, whatever emotion you may be feeling at that time. You can't let such an emotion control you. So you listen, and if the person is a type who has worked out, all right, fine. Sometimes it's even better if the person is a type that may hit you, or you know the person has an anger problem. Like I said earlier, let the person leave, and then you can bring it up again. If it's something you can't let go, or you feel will really hamper or affect the relationship, you can bring it up another time. It's not every time you must argue. And there's some people, please know when to fold your arms. I call that folding of arms. Know what I mean is know when it's not necessary to talk again. Know when it's not necessary to bring up the topic again. Because even if you bring up the topic, it probably will lead to a worse argument. You let it be. If you know it's not really going to affect the relationship, you were just trying to prove a point of view, there could be other times or subtle ways you could pass that message across. Don't let it be an argument again. Don't let it be an argument. So just let it go. Know when to be silent, know when to fold. And in fact, constructive silence sometimes is more effective, because the person will be like, okay, why is she not shouting? Why is she not talking about it? Or why is he not saying anything? So the person begins to search, begin to think, okay, is it that I wronged the person, or is it that I did the wrong thing? So constructive silence is also very important when trying to handle conflicts or disputes in a relationship. Another point I want to raise is forgive the person. Sometimes people have this heated argument, even the other partner has accepted, all right, fine, I understand, I know I'm wrong, and they say sorry. It is now hard for the other person to, on the receiving end, to accept the sorry. The person keeps talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. The other person has apologized, but the person keeps talking and talking and talking and talking. That won't lead you guys anywhere. You have to learn. I've said it, you can't be in a successful relationship stroke marriage without learning how to forgive. In fact, you forgive on the go. You have a daily, it's a pill. You take a daily pill of forgiveness. You forgive daily. You forgive on the go, because they may just do things that they may not even know, but it hurts you. So what are some main points that can help a person to control his or herself? Okay, I'll get to you, Amos. So you have to learn how to forgive the person on the go. Now, another thing, when that partner or you are saying sorry, okay, before I say this, some people have an issue saying sorry even in the first place. Whether the person that is infuriated, or the person that is angry, or the person that feels the person is hot, or even the other person, people just have an issue with saying sorry. And I see it as pride. I see it as an ego problem. Why can't you say sorry? What's there? It's a 5-letter word. Why can't you say sorry? But some people have an issue. Even if they know they are wrong, what they do is, Stanley, thank you for joining me. What they do is they go to, they look for subtle ways. If it's a guy, buy gifts. If it's a girl, cook. They do subtle things to say they are sorry, but they cannot say they are sorry. And even those who say they are sorry, you're sorry for what? Because most people just say, okay, sorry. You know, they just want to die the tension, or they just want to let this part pass. So they just say sorry. No, you have to say sorry for what? If you did sorry because, okay, I offended you, or sorry because I said hurtful words or something, You must say sorry, because that's how to effectively say sorry. Not just sorry. Sorry, what are you sorry for? You say sorry for what you're sorry for. So we know you've thought it through and you're truly sorry. Now, another point that you can help yourself so that you don't get into an argument that may lead into a breakup is that don't use the information you have against the person. So because you know that, okay, maybe the ex broke up with the person because of one or two things that the person did, and maybe the person told you confidently, you now use it, and that is why that person left you. It is because of this your nonsensical behavior. That is why you begin to use the information you have that was given to you in trust, that was told to you in trust, that was told to you in confidence against the person because you have an argument. That really hurts, and it may lead to a non-forgiving situation. The person is not really a forgiving type, but like I said earlier, you must take a daily pill of forgiveness if you want, to stay, because you're staying with another different human being who thinks differently, who reasons differently, who comes from a different background. So you must learn how to forgive, and the person must learn how to forgive you too. So it's both parties need the forgiveness pill. Now, so you can't use those hurtful words against your partner. You must be careful. You must think through of what you say. Some people even use abusive words. Some people get into blackmail, emotional blackmail. Some people say things that are, it's easy to just talk. It's easy to just say words, but to, retract it back, to take it back is hard. It's difficult. So you must be careful, irrespective of the fact that you're trying to prove your point, irrespective of the fact that you're really hurt. Maybe the person truly is wrong, but there are certain things you don't have a liberty to say certain things, especially things that, just thank you for joining me, that were told to you in confidence. You can't say them anyhow, or start insulting the person, or body shaming the person, or saying the person is no good. You can't say such hurtful words, because you see, the thing with words is that after they have been said, even maybe the argument has gone, even if you guys have even settled, the person can begin to think, why would this person who says is my partner, who says he loves me or she loves me, say such a thing? So the person begins to think about it, in the person's mind, and that may even lead, if the person, you guys are not married and all, may even lead to the person saying, what the hell, this person really doesn't care. And maybe you truly care, but you're just flippant with words, and that may end your relationship. So you have to be careful with the way you talk, with the way you speak, even in anger. So if you know you cannot control what you would say, then keep quiet until when you've calmed down, you're no longer so upset, and you can think through what you would say before you say it. Sometimes it's not all the time that it happens, out of the blue, and you just begin to say it. No, you must calm down and think through. Amos, you asked that at what points can help a person control his or herself, in such a time. Well, what I would advise is, if you have a heated argument and you don't have control, keep quiet, don't say anything. Secondly, think through what you want to say. You could count 1 to 100. In fact, I learned mine. I don't think because I'm saying it, I'm just saying it. No. I used to be the type of, I would just say it, or I didn't really use hurtful words, but I would just say what is in my mind. And you must listen. I'm that kind of person that you won't go anywhere. You must listen to what I have to say. But I have learned that sometimes I let it go. Sometimes I don't even talk about it. Sometimes I count if I'm so mad inside. I can count 1 to 10 if it's not working. I count to when I can cool down. Sometimes it could get to 1 to 100. I can count in my mind 1 to 100. 1, 2. I say it 1 to 100, and I count in my mind, and I calm down. When I'm now calmed, then I approach my husband. Then, in fact, if my husband was on this broadcast, he would tell you guys, no, you can't. I wasn't quarreling to win, but I was quarreling, you must hear me. I have a point to make, and you must hear me. So that was me then, but I had to work on it. I had to control that anger, because I realized it was anger that was, getting the better part of me. And so I would count, take a deep breath. Sometimes I don't even say anything at the initial time. I wait for a good time, and I air what I have to say. After all, you except maybe the thing is going to cause a problem immediately, then I take those breaths quickly, try to calm down. Of course, everybody knows I'm religiously inclined, so I try to say some prayer, to Lord, help me say the right things, or God, help me that this comes out well. Because sometimes in your head you're thinking that what you want to say would come out well, but it doesn't come out well at the end, and it leads to a problem. And then another thing that leads to an argument that can cause a breakup is when You know, the person is talking to you and you're like, to hell with you. You make less of the relationship, or you make the other person feel you do not hold the relationship there. Maybe the person says, you are in the argument, I can see you're not listening to me. I'm going. Or I can see you're not listening to me. You don't want to talk to me. Or why are you not responding? I'm asking you this question. Why are you not responding? And the person makes light of your relationship. I say, hey, if you want to go, you can go. In fact, if you want to break up, let's break up. You know, it's you make light of the relationship. It makes the other person think. We just have an argument. I'm saying you're not listening to me. Instead of you to say you're listening to me, or to say, okay, I'm really not in a good frame of mind to talk about this thing now. Let's talk about it later. You attack the relationship. The relationship is not the problem here. The problem is there's an issue. So stay within the issue. Stay within the issue that was raised. Stay within what the problem is. Why are you bringing your relationship into the equation? Now, there's something else I must tell you. It may sound funny, but it's true. Fight with mutual consent, or argue with mutual consent. What do I mean? You may want to argue, or you may want to talk about something, but your other significant other is not in the mood to talk about it. It's not in the right frame of mind to talk about. Maybe the person has other things that have upsetted the person, or a news that you don't even know. Of course, you're not with the person's phone. Maybe a news came in. If the person is not ready to argue with you at that time, let the person be. But that person who is not ready also has a responsibility to say, please, can we talk about this later? I'm actually going through some things. Or please, can we talk about this later? I really don't want to talk about it now. Because, you know, if you don't say that, you leave the other person confused. You know, you start thinking, why don't you want to talk to me? You know, what is going on and all that. And then you must know that no relationship is perfect and nobody is perfect. So let's stop this thing of saying, no, we're not going to quarrel. Actually, I would. If I am in a relationship with someone and the person, we don't have an argument, we don't try to trash something, we always see everything eye to eye, I would have a problem with it. Because I know the person is not me and I'm not the person. So you must see something differently, or from a different perspective. You must have a different perspective on an issue for me. So we should be able to talk about it. We should be able to know that, you know, something, you know, talk about something that we feel is not right at different points in time. So argument in a relationship is right. The problem is just our attitude towards it and what we say during those arguments that lead or that cause problems in the relationship. And then now you must know your partner. It may be just because I feel, especially if you are just starting a relationship, it's not, you won't start quarreling that week or so. So from time you must learn how and know how your partner reacts to things. You must know. And ladies, I want to warn us, stop. If you're quarreling with your partner, why must you start holding your partner's clothes? What's that? Or start trying to break things? What's that? Or guys, keep your hands to yourself. That lady is not your child. So why must it end in hitting? Please, you see, the thing is, all this thing boils down to people not being able to control their emotions when they're upset. And so they react anyhow. Some people, if you need to take an anger management class, please do. You know, if you need to see a shrink, please do. If you need to see someone for counseling on how to control your anger, please do. You know, like I've said, if you know you to truly lead to domestic violence and rest, then you can walk out. At that time, you're permitted to walk out. But if you know that it is not anger management, don't walk out. Stay there and listen to what the person has to say. Except you know that you're not sure at that point of what your reaction would be, then you can tell the person, please, I would like to take a walk, or I'd like to leave here. When I come back, we can talk about it. Okay, thank you for joining me. So that thing where you throw tantrums, they begin to break people's things, people's phones, people's TVs, people's car screen. What's that? Are you crazy? Are you a mad woman? Why must you be breaking things? Are those things are they the thing that causes trouble? Like I said, people attack different things. Take a deep breath. Or you yourself, if you are the type that you brought the issue and you don't know how you are going to react to it, just say, okay, I don't want to talk about this now. Can we talk about it later? And you leave. It's better that you leave than for you to get into a heated argument that may lead, you know, to domestic violence. Now, I will give us just a few tips now on how to what should be going through your mind before you present an argument, because that has a big role to play. 1, find a solution before you present it, but be willing to take, if another solution comes up, be willing to take that, be open to your partner's own solution, but have a solution. If you're complaining that, oh, maybe you're not taking me out or something, and the person say, okay, I agree, I'm sorry, so what do you think we can do about it? Have a solution, have something to say to the problem you are bringing. Yes, Moses, you're asking a question. You say, Ma, what if a person has a problem of bad judgment, doesn't figure out the real issues, and does not also listen to the other person? Such persons always believe sincerely that they are right. Yes, that's what I said on the initial point before you joined in. I was saying that nobody, you cannot always be right, Moses. That's what I was saying. And people don't listen to understand. That's the major problem I see in arguments. Most people just listen to have an attack, especially if they are not the ones bringing the solution. They are bringing the issue. Let's say it's their partner that is bringing the issue, and the partner says, hey, I don't like why you're doing something. Tofumi, thank you for joining me. I don't like why you're doing something, or I don't like why you're saying something. The person is not even listening to the why. The person is just hearing that the person is saying this about the person. So such people, I think if that is the way your partner is, you shouldn't listen to your talk to your partner during, like, make it like an argument, like, oh, we're quarreling over issue, or trying to trash out issues. No. When you're watching a movie, when you're walking, when there's no argument, just when relaxing time, relaxing mood, then you tell the person that, but do you realize that you don't really listen to me when I talk to you? You could break it down. You've said about 3 issues there, but don't say everything at once. The person will feel like it's an attack on the person's person. You could trash this first one of listening, because the person truly listening is going to help further down the problem the person has. When you've trashed this, you don't really listen, and the person will yes, you give instances. Now, not instances where you begin to say hurtful words. I've said it, we must be careful in an argument not to use hurtful words, but instances where you like raise an issue and tell the person that, you see, in this issue you really didn't listen. This was what I was trying to say, and you were saying this. You understand? Then when you've trashed out, you cannot bring another issue and say, you're not always right on an issue. Why do you always think that it's you that is right and the other person doesn't really know what they're saying, or the other person doesn't have a brain to think? You can bring it up, but not in an argument. Bring it up when the person is really relaxed, when the person is really happy. You see, because if you love someone, you will care about the feelings and the emotions of that person. You will care about the reaction of that person with your words, with what you say. So we have to really be careful. So like I said, have a solution, Moses. I hope I answered the question. And like I said, find a solution before presenting the problem. I think I'm way past my time. I have about 5 minutes, so let me quickly round up. So at this point, because I'm trying to round up, if you have questions, you could drop them just the way Moses and Amos did. And then don't ask of your partner what you know you can do. Don't ask of your partner what you know. Stanley, you said, raise issues one after the other. Yes, you have to. Thank you that you learned that. Yes, raise issues one after the other. You can't, when you bring all the issues on, let's say, okay, it's even addressing that is a problem. Stanley, I'm just elaborating on the point, since you say you're learning it and you're a guy. So you can't, if maybe it's addressing you're complaining about, or maybe it's her attitude, or maybe it's her cooking skills, something you were complaining about. You can't just bring everything at once. You have to treat it one at a time, because if you bring everything, the person will begin to be defensive. The person will feel it's an attack on her person. Yes, so don't ask for anything you're not willing to do. Like I told us, this what the point I'm giving now is what you pre-think, or what goes on in your mind before you bring an argument or bring an issue to be trashed with your partner. Won't find a solution before presenting it. Don't ask for anything you're not willing to do, of your partner you're not willing to do. Yes, so, and then you must create balance, and then learn to forgive. Learn to forgive, and then think it through in your head. Think the whole scenario in your head. You see, if you care about someone, I will tell you myself for an example. If I have an issue, or I feel my husband is doing something that I need to talk to him about, I first of all go through it in my head. At least I've known my husband for some time. I go through it in my head, and I figure out 1 or 2 responses that he will give, or 1 or 2 things that he will say, or that, how he will react to it. And I'm open. Now I'm open. It may be 1 of these 2 things. It may not be. I'm open to what he would say. I'm open to how he will react to what I'm saying. And then I get what I want to get, or we trash the issue. If it's too heated, sometimes I let it go. So you must think through what you're coming to present to the other person, because people are it's rare that you, especially if you feel the thing is wrong, it's rare that people will just always agree. Some of them will just say okay for peace to reign, but deep down they really didn't agree, and that leads to pile up. And please, I want to advise, don't pile up issues. Treat them one by one, but don't pile them, and don't sweep them under the rug. Don't say, okay, it's not important, let me leave it. Especially if you know it's really disturbing you. And anytime you see the person, you that thing comes back to mind and you hold it against the person. You know, you have to learn how to let go. You have to learn how to forgive. You also have to learn how, if you know you don't want to talk about it, then forgive the person even without discussing it. Don't say, I don't want to talk about the person and hold it against the person. It will be building resentment. That's how resentment comes. And then the person just does a little thing and then you flame up. And then the person becomes shocked. Is it just this thing I did and you're reacting like this? It's because you have kept things. Peace of Former, thank you for joining me. You have kept things. Revenue Former, thank you for joining me. You've kept things so much in your mind. And because you have kept things in your mind, just a little thing, you know, your mind needs space, so you just blot everything out. Things that were bottled up just come up. Sometimes you can't even control it. It's when you said it, you were like, oh my God, you know. So it's better you trash it once. You know, if you know you won't trash it, then kill it. Deal with it in your mind. Tell yourself it's okay. He was wrong or she was wrong. It's okay, but I don't want to talk about it. I value my relationship too much. This is not worth the trouble. You deal with it, you forgive, and you move. But if you know you don't know how to deal with it, then look for a good time, a suitable time, and you trash it. And then the way we talk matters. I'm rounding up with this. If you have a question, please, you can ask. The way we talk matters. Tone of voice, facial expression. You don't talk to your partner like you're irritated. Why are you irritated with your partner? If you're irritated with your partner, that means you're irritated with yourself because your partner is you, especially if you're married. But if you're not married, you intend to make that person you. So why do you talk with an irritation in your face? I'm someone, when someone is talking to me, I actually look at the face of the person. I'm really not, I'm listening, but I'm looking at your facial construction. I'm looking at what you're saying. Are we making eye contact? Are you avoiding my eyes? Because those things tell me things. You're avoiding my eyes. Are we making eye contact? Are you irritated but trying to cover it a bit? I look at your face anyway. Some people do too. So if you are in an argument with someone, your facial expression matters, especially if the person is like me. Your facial expression matters. What you say matters. Your tone of voice matters. Your body language matters. The type that walks out, slams the door, or it's not listening, you know, probably doing something else. All those things matter. They even if at the end you say sorry, but your face has shown irritation, you have used the harsh voice, you have used harsh words, your body language shows you don't care, you don't give a damn, to hell with you. Even if you end up saying sorry, that will be hard for that person to accept. The person may just accept, you know, like some people have really grown maturely and so they are able to deal with such things and look past it, but some are not. So we have to be careful. You don't have to shout to make a point. You don't have to scream to make a point. You don't have to hiss to pass your point across. You don't have to walk out or slam the door, be disrespectful in your attitude to make a point. You can make your point without all those nonsensical facial gestures. You can make your point without looking or sounding like you're irritated. You can make your point without walking out on the person. You can make your point without hitting the person. These are all ways to prevent it. All boils down to anger management and your ability to control your anger. Like I said, take a deep breath. Count one, two, the number of times that your heart rate has reduced and all. So I hope we've been able to learn how we can avoid argument. Like I said, if you value your relationship, your reaction will portray that. Your behavior will portray that. Whether you are the person bringing the issue or you're the person listening, will portray that. So listen to understand. Don't listen because you want to attack. Don't listen because you want to argue. Some people, when they're trying to tell them something and maybe they're upset or the person that is telling them is wrong, you need to see the way they will be vibrating and be doing as if, they want to beat the person. And usually, sometimes I'm surprised at why the person is behaving like that. And I'm like, oh, wow, especially in a relationship, because a lot of things guys look at. Ladies, beware, because it's us that talk plenty. A lot of things a guy look at, but be like, you are not even yet a man. See the way you are vibrating. That means, man, you break my television and you break this, and then he changes his mind. You probably are really a good person, but you see what you've shown, the attitude. Like I say, attitude, especially for a woman, is very important. So I hope In the next 30 seconds, if no question, I'll be going. Please share, and don't forget to join me on Read Time with Ra Extended on Sunday 6 p.m. Eastern European Time, and of course 5 p.m. GMT. No, 3 p.m. GMT. Sorry for Sunday. Yes. So yes, Lily, you're right. If you value your relationship, your approach towards an issue matters. Yes, and how you see it. Yes, and the environment. Yes, let me add this. The environment, especially for those of us who may be living with family or maybe living with people. There's some issues you should trash not in front of people. There's some issues you can trash just when you're alone with your partner. Yeah, Stanley, you're welcome. When you're alone with your partner, if you live with parents, you live with relatives, you can't be trashing such issues in front of them because people talk a lot. No matter how we want to see it, they'll say, oh, this is blood, this is about people talk, people gossip. So there are certain things you shouldn't do in front of people. You could trash it when you guys are alone in your room or taking a walk together or going out or just when two of you are together. That issue can be trashed, especially if you don't live alone. That is another thing I almost forgot. Very important. You don't have to trash issues where people are. All right, thank you for joining me. For those of you who stayed to the end, bye.